All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Bitmain Antminer S19 Pro, which is one of their newer Antminers for mining Bitcoin. So this is not the S19 Pro. This is just the regular Antminer S9, which came out a few years ago. So this does 14 terahashes and also consumes about 1600 watts. So I just want to show you as a comparison, that's what an S9 looks like, that size. So the S19 Pro is actually double that size, stacked on top of each other. So one here, one on top, as well as it has an included power supply, which is amazing. So with this one here, you had to actually get a separate power supply. This is kind of like an all-in-one solution with the S19 Pro. And the crazy thing is that actually does 110 terahashes a second. So like I said, this is 14 terahashes. The S19 Pro does 110 terahashes a second. So not only that, it also consumes 3,250 watts, whereas this consumes 1,600 watts. So the S19 Pro is so much more efficient in terms of electricity usage as well as the mining hash power. So what we're going to be doing next is going onto the computer. I'm going to be showing you what the profitability is for currently for the Antminer S19 Pro. We'll figure out how many Bitcoin you're actually mining every single day and then compute it to dollar value.
All right, so this is what the Antminer S19 Pro looks like. You see that it does 110 terahashes a second and consumes about 3250 watts plus or minus 5%. And then you'll see what the joules per terahash is plus or minus 5%. It's 29.5, which I said is a lot more efficient than just their Antminer S9. So let's look at what the profitability is. So you'll see here in a single day with the Antminer S19 Pro, this here is actually going to mine this many Bitcoin per day. So if we take that amount of Bitcoin and multiply it by the current price, which is 38,759. So we'll times this by 38,759. You'll see that you're mining about $25.63, which is already calculated here. I just kind of wanted to show you how that was calculated. So that's the Antminer S19 Pro versus the S19. So this is the non-pro version. You're mining a little bit less. So in current value, you're mining about $22.23. And like I said, the S19 Pro is doing 25.74 cents. So just keep in mind, these things do consume electricity, so you'll have to plug in how much you pay for electricity. So here it's assuming 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So for electricity costs, you're paying about $7.72 per day just on the electricity to run the S19 Pro. Hopefully that was helpful, and you know and understand a little bit more of how these Antminers work and how much power they consume and how many Bitcoin you actually mine. And one last thing, the Bitcoin network does have a network difficulty adjustment that occurs approximately every 2 weeks. So if a lot more Antminers or miners enter the scene, the difficulty is going to adjust and increase. So it makes it more difficult to mine Bitcoin. So then you'll earn less. So if you see this chart here, starting in 2018, it started to skyrocket with the price of Bitcoin increasing, and now it's gone even higher. And you'll notice that this is probably going to continue on. So just keep in mind, if it says you're going to mine this many Bitcoin in a single day, today, that's going to change in 2 weeks, and it's going to go lower. And then in another 2 weeks, it's going to go even lower. And after the whole year, see here it says in 1 month you're going to make $809. The following month that might be only $700. So just keep in mind, as long as the Bitcoin price continues going up, then you have a good chance of getting your profits in USD value. However, just keep in mind that your BTC value is going to constantly go down each month.